Hello and welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. This week's episode is brought to you by Jim Vaughn's Financial House of Horror. It's Halloween time again, and if you want to amplify your terror to the next level, then it's time to head over to local accountant Jim Vaughn's Financial House of Horror. This isn't your typical spook house, y'all. Enter the 15-minute corporate house of horror that includes limitless scares from monsters like the variable interest rate goblin, the 401k werewolf, the Roth IRA masochist, and the depreciating asset vampire. Feel the terror creeping in on you at every turn as you realize that all of your goals in life come at a literal cost, and if you aren't prepared, they will consume your soul. Ticket prices also include a 5-minute introductory financial planning session with the one and only Jim Vaughn at the end of your adventure. Head on over to jimvaughn.com now to buy your tickets for the Financial House of Horror. Enter the code MINDGAP at checkout to get a brochure on stock market day trading. This week's episode is brought to you by Elephant & Castle, located at 185 North Wabash and 111 West Adams in Chicago, Illinois. Look, I know you're looking for that perfect English pub experience so you can grab some incredible drinks and tasty food. Elephant & Castle has you covered. They have excellent daily drink specials, happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., and some delicious-ass food for you to chew on while you watch some fucking sports. Come on down to Elephant & Castle at 185 North Wabash or 111 West Adams in Chicago, Illinois, and tell them that Mind Gap Podcast sent you. All right, folks. In this week's episode, Justin and I talk about Carson King, also known as the Beer Money Venmo guy, and the controversy surrounding his social media past. We then discuss whether or not redemption is actually achievable, and then talk about whether or not we'd sell our used underwear to interested parties on the internet. Lastly, we talk about the advertisements that lied to us, convincing us to buy their bullshit products. Think your life is perfect and blemish-free? Then grab a big-ass rock, find a glass house, and get ready to shatter it as we head into episode 216 of Mind Gap Podcast.
Mind Gap Podcast.
Great, and welcome to the chat. Great, okay, cool. We are fucking rocking and rolling. Rock and roller, Ayatollah.
What? Did you just call me?
I just called you Lee Iacocca.
Not again.
I won't do it.
No.
How?
You just howl like a dog.
How? I know there's a way to do this.
What do you want? Can I help? Let me help you.
I'm just gonna do that.
I mean, I could have done that.
Right, I know you could have, but you didn't. So
because you didn't let me.
Thanks for nothing.
Justin, you can delegate. You know that, right?
I don't know what that means.
I know. Well, you've heard it plenty at work.
Delegate?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very much.
It means go do it yourself.
It means
delegate this to you.
It means I'm really not into what we're doing right now, so you go ahead.
I don't want to do it, so you better, or else you're gonna get fired.
See, I wish there was a way to. I know there is a way, rather, to make multiple things come on the screen at the same time.
Well, I mean that I've done that before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite of a masterful stroke.
It really
to pull
is.
that off. You look like you are trying to get to a hidden level on what is this? Your touch? What is this?
This is an iPad.
An iPad.
Yeah.
He's, for people who can't see, which is everybody, he keeps trying to like slide on the side of it, and like the screen is kind of going like, no, I'm glued to it. But he's like, there's got to be something hiding over here. There's like a whistle that's going to take me to the next level.
I've played Zelda. I've not played Zelda. Yeah, I don't. You used to be able to like split screen it, so you could have. Fuck you.
I believe you. I mean, I haven't. I have a Mac for work, and I still don't understand all the features.
It's accurate. They're confusing.
What's not confusing about that I love is the gestures on it.
Oh, like the
fucking
the
love
pinch
it.
and everything?
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the goddamn best. And when I go back to a PC laptop, I'm like, what are we doing here?
at
Cavemen.
You know?
That's interesting. The new iOS for the iPad has changed a lot of where all these things are.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Swiping down from the corner to
Yes.
get like your it says stuff going up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Which again, I'm not complaining about. It's just it's a big learning curve when you don't use
It's
it
the
all
same
the time.
thing on Jill's iPad where I'm like, I can't set the timer. Where is it? I'm like, oh, it comes down from the corner. Okay, got it. Good to know.
Good to know. So did you hear? I'm very curious to get your hot take on this.
Ooh, hot takes.
Hot
Doug.
takes coming through.
Doug ruins everything. Let's hear it.
So need your hot take on this. The guy who did the whole putting the sign up at the the college game,
Yes.
and he got
Yes.
I think he gets up to $2 million now.
All right, let's. I'm
So
saying
yeah,
yes.
let's back this up.
Yeah, sorry.
So
I
the-
know what you're talking about.
yes.
I can't wait to talk about it. Let's talk about it.
There's a guy who I think it was about 2 weeks ago at this point.
Probably
A couple
3.
weeks ago.
It was in 2019.
He was at a college football game, and the broadcasters were broadcasting, and behind the booth, there was a bunch of people. He was holding up a sign. It was very close to the cameras, and it said, "Busch Light supply running low. Need money for more beer." And it had his actual Venmo address, and so he got some money that started coming in. He got it on national television, and then more money started coming in, and more money started coming in. And it just kept coming. And I think last I heard it was either $1 million or $2 million that he had finally gotten up to. And so he, instead of keeping it, he was like, "Look, I'm going to keep the amount of a 6-pack. Of a case. I'm going to buy myself a case of beer, like I said it was, and then I'm going to donate the rest of the almost $2 million to the Iowa Children's Hospital." And
Well, I think what it was is as he was getting it, he got like $350, and he's like, "Whoa, okay,
Right.
I got more than I needed." So he's like, "Whatever I get extra, I'm going to donate." And
Right.
then Busch Light was like, "Hey, we'll match you.
Exactly.
Whatever you give to him, we'll also match, so that we can donate to the." It became a real big thing.
And then Venmo jumped in and said, "We'll also match it."
Yeah.
So Venmo and Bush are also going to match however much he makes, which at this point is up to about $1 million or $2 million. So that children's hospital is going to get between $3 to $6 million coming in, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But
He got a day named after him too.
did he?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Guess what happened to him?
Oh, I know what happened.
Did
Tell
you?
me. Tell me what happened.
Well, so some fuck up reporter was like, "You know what? This guy doing good things? Fuck this guy. I'm going to dig into his past."
These are actual quotes.
Yes. We are, after all, journalists. Our journalistic integrity is bar none.
If anything, Mind Gap is a primary source for most things.
So yeah, he goes, fuck this guy. I'm gonna bury him.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a little digging, and about I don't know, it was like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The guy had done some, I guess, vaguely racist tweets or something.
It was homophobic. Or
Homophobic,
something. It may
yeah.
have been both.
It was something.
Maybe
And
it was,
so basically he published an article saying, "This guy, terrible person. He raised $2 million for children in need, but fuck him. 10 years ago, he was an asshole."
It's crazy that the paper, the Des Moines Register, posted this. I mean, it's crazy. They ran it just like that.
That was the headline.
Yeah.
The whole thing was the headline.
Yeah.
And then the article was just scathing.
Yeah. Be funny if the rest was like very well written, but the headline was just
It
like
was
full
just, "Hey, the guy,
This twat."
this guy's no good." But then the internet sprung to life and went, "Okay,
Well, because what happened was after that happened, like Busch Light pulled its thing, like pulled all of it. Like they were like, "Oh, never mind, we don't want to be."
Oh, did they? See, I didn't know
As far as
that.
I know, like all of a sudden, people were like backing out of it now, and they're like, never mind, we can't
Right.
support someone who's blah 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 or whatever." And the kid apologized. He's like, "Hey, look." Because here's the thing, he was 16.
right,
16 when he posted.
right." The guy's
that.
26. He's a young guy.
Yeah. So, and he was like, "Hey," he apologized. He said, "Look, I should have said that. That was stupid. I regret everything I said." And he also even gave credit to the newspaper. He's like, "These guys have been nothing but kind to me, and I don't hold anything against them because they were kind to cover it and everything like that." Now, continue with the story.
So then the internet woke up and said, "Wait a second. Sorry, we were taking a nap. What's going on?
Yeah.
You're doing what? You're taking money out of these kids? What? Hold on a second." And so they jumped on. They did their own little research, and they found even more severe racist, homophobic, and something else tweets, basically, that this guy, this journalist, this quote-unquote journalist, for those that are not watching on Twitch, I'm using air quotes, this journalist put on Twitter himself. And so then they lambasted him. And so then the paper went, oh, we can't be associated with you. You're fired.
Yeah.
And they fired the journalist.
Yeah, because the journalist was like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. And then they let him go immediately.
It's like, no, man.
And it was so funny because I think I remember like it was because I think it was the Des Moines Register. It was
I think so.
And they said their reasoning for covering what this guy had tweeted, the person, not the journalist, but the kid who had the beer stuff, was they said they wanted to put all the facts out there so that readers could come to their own conclusions or something along those lines.
Sure, I guess.
Which was a very lame, I think, attempt to be like journalistic integrity.
Right.
I don't know. But because the thing I look at with that is, first of all, I mean, the irony, the hypocrisy. I mean, God, you just want to drizzle it with gravy and just like take little bites of it and savor every bite because it's like justice was served. Batman came in, punched him in the mouth, and threw him over a balcony. He didn't die, but he'll remember.
Right. He will never try to help children again.
He'll live.
Fuck this guy. The scars will run deep and will forever remind him of what a terrible human being he is.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that journalist, I'm doing the air quotes again, what that journalist's end goal was. Again, like someone's was doing something, for themselves, ended up flush with cash, and then went, you know what, let me help other people out. Was doing a very wonderful thing that it was not the original intention. And then he had also made statements of like, this has really spurred, like, I want to start doing this. I want to start raising money and doing kind of these kind of things and helping get, money into the hands of different charities and stuff. And the journalist went, you know what, this guy needs to burn. I'm going to see if I can dig anything up. What the fuck is that?
Well, I also want to know, people have done this numerous times now. What is that process of logging onto Twitter, going to someone's profile and be like, all right, let's start scrolling.
Right.
Like what?
Let me go to the very end or the very beginning, and we're just going to start scrolling up.
What is that?
Right.
Like, what is that like?
Or is there a way, maybe there's a way that you can just like do a, like show all and then a control F and just look for keywords.
I have no idea.
Maybe?
Like,
I don't fucking know. Like that's...
Because I think you bring up a valid point here, which is what was the catalyst to be like, we should see what he's tweeted before? Like what?
Right.
Based on what?
Like the first thing that I see when someone's doing something good is not, I wonder how many skeletons that fuck's got in his closet.
Right.
Like that's, why are you so angry at this
right.
man?
And it's just I mean, it's a fact. He posted it. It's there.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's a thing. But what does that have to do with what he's doing now?
Right.
You know what I mean? And also take into consideration, he's fucking 16. What has he posted since then?
Right.
Anything since then? If it was last week, okay, different story.
Sure.
But what else has he posted?
Right. Exactly.
It's like, fuck, man. Like
I went back into my tweets after that, and I was just like, I wonder what I have back here that, one day might bite me in the ass. And I went back through, and I was like, while I have not posted anything that I think is racist or homophobic or anything, I'm looking back through, I'm like, I posted some really, like, boring, dumb shit. Like, I was bored with my own feed.
I'm bored with my own feet sometimes, too. But for me, I'm going to go. I want to see.
You got a foot thing.
I don't know how many tweets I've done personally, but I want to see.
I'm up in the 1700s. But I've also had Twitter since 2011.
I'm willing to bet it's less than 50.
Right. The thing is, I've also had Twitter since 2011, and when I got Twitter, it was because I was doing that online TV job, and so I was posting like 20 times an episode of like interacting with people, and so like it's all very boring stuff. Most of which the links do not work anymore.
Sure.
So it's like it's a stupid feed. Go ahead.
Guess how many do you think I have?
I'm gonna put you at over 100. So I'm gonna say 104.
You are too high.
Oh boy.
Come back down.
All right, 78.
Come back down.
7.
Higher.
38.
You are one off.
39.
Yes.
Wow.
I have 39 tweets. A majority of them happened on one day, and it was when we were doing. Ask Drew.
Oh no! Was this the original Ask Practical Doug too?
Hold on here. No. Okay, I want to read these.
Please.
All right, so,
Please do.
if you could be any Avenger, which one would you be? Drew Dole. Hashtag Ask Drew. I have another question at Drew Dole. What's it like having 3 nipples? Hashtag Ask Drew. Hey, at Drew Dole, what does the Federal Reserve do? Hashtag Ask Drew.
Did he answer these, by the way?
No.
Okay. Drew, I feel very upset that you did not ever answer these.
Hashtag Ask Drew. Hey, at Drew Dole, would you rather fight 100 cats or one giant bat the size of a pickup truck? At Drew Dole, we have a problem. It all went wrong. It's no big deal, but I need the shovel. Where did you leave the shovel? Hashtag Ask Drew. At Drew Dole, they got out of the shed and they're running away towards the road.
I remember
The
these.
shovel didn't work. Any suggestions?
I remember these.
All right. At Drew Dole, the sprinklers turned on automatically and the water's making them grow really fast. Did you give them HGH? Kind of important, at Drew. Need to get into the safe to get the codes. This is getting out of hand. What's the combination? Dr. Wilson is gone, Drew. They got him. They're multiplying and they're very strong. Do you think fire will work? Okay, Drew. They are weak to fire. Unfortunately, so is the lab. Might be a problem. Do we have a fire safety plan? Good news, Drew. They're dead. Bad news. So are the interns. We might have a liability here. What's our lawyer's number? I just realized at Drew Dole isn't Dr. Drew, so just ignore what I've been saying. By the way, do you know Dr. Drew's number?
That was probably the best Twitter exchange I've ever
All
ever
done
heard.
February 11th, 2013.
There you go. You guys, you can go to at the D-Buzz and you can go back and you can read those for yourself if you want to.
Yeah, those were.
Those are really fucking hysterical.
That was a good time. Like I don't. Twitter still evades me, and I don't do it. So for that regard, I'm excited because it's like you want to see my
Fascinated with
history.
how your brain works, by the
Ain't
way.
nothing. Yeah, when I get going, man. Let me tell you,
There's no stopping them.
there's no stopping them.
For better or worse, there's no stopping them.
And the thing is, if you feed that beast, you're just as culpable.
Oh yeah. That's on you. You can and will be held liable.
If you feed my creativity, I will take it and I will run with it, and then you just kind of give me boundaries.
It's like when a kid, like when you just like you laugh at something they do and they're like, oh, this elicits laughter.
Yeah.
Game on.
And what a kid will typically do is then repeat it over and over and over again, whereas I'm like, let's go deeper.
Let's mind this. How deep does this well go?
It's like, okay.
Where's the line and can I cross it?
Yeah. And at work, I have guys that yes and me like crazy.
Right.
And I'm like, great, let's see where this goes. I'm like, keep it under wraps to a certain point, but I'm like, cool.
Right.
I go, what I say? At one point I go, all right, guys, in the next 30 seconds, we're going to see who's good at what accents. All right, ready, go. And we had fun doing Missouri accents. We had fun doing some German. Some
The old
Austrian.
Missouri.
I brought up Hans the party boy a little bit.
Oh, Hans the party
Hi,
boy.
what's the party? Oh. He's just so excited about everything.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, look at this place. Look at the carpet. It's so beautiful. It makes me want to dance on it. Oh, oots, 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 oots.
That's him.
That's him.
That's
Yeah.
it.
He takes everything's just marvelous. That's
Yeah.
what I love about him. Everything's great with Hans.
Oh, it's all fucking fun.
Everything is
Yeah.
just a joy. It's exciting. There's no downside to anything. That's a guy who lives in his own world.
He lives in his own world and he lives in the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter. He's in McDonald's and they ran out of their ice cream machine doesn't work. It's all good because now he can try one of those apple pies.
Right.
You know?
That he's heard so much about.
Oh my God, I've never tried them because I always like the ice cream, but now I can try the apple pie. It's so hot.
It's so hot.
Oots.
Sticky. Sticky.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
hot. It's hot on my hand and I love it.
And I love
I
it.
feel alive.
I shoved my tongue into it and now my tongue is burned.
But now I know life is better.
But I can feel.
I'm alive. I just love it. That's the best character to do in a challenge because you make everything great.
Right, absolutely.
It's too easy to be like, oh, this fucking sucks. Life sucks. But have a guy that's like, yay, things
Yeah.
aren't working out. It's all good.
Right.
It's fun. It's a fun character.
It is a fun character. So I heard about that and I went, oh, this is Doug's nightmare playing out
100%. I think it's
in real time.
It's just real shitty that, you know, this has to come to a stop at some point where I think just collectively, as a society, we have to cut each other some fucking slack.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't see it changing anytime soon.
I just feel like at some point, and again, I don't know when that's going to happen. We have to be like, hey, it's cool. Like, it's cool. That was a long time ago. And instead of furthering my agenda, I'm going to look at you as a human.
Well, I think...
Which makes me think of something on my way over here.
Yeah.
I wanted to shove a cop.
Did you?
No.
Okay, good.
There was 5 cops outside of the lake red line. Like, you're coming up the escalator, and there's 5 of them huddled around. There's always one turnstile that I go to because it's exit only, and I don't want to get in the way of the people that are coming in.
Sure.
And all these fucking moron cops were hanging out by it, and they were in the way, and I wanted to be like, hey, human being to human being, you're a fucking moron. Can you please move? Now, if you're a cop and you're like, but no. Put your cop shit aside. Get the fuck out of the way. You're an idiot. All right?
Yeah.
Fucking move.
Wow.
There's a lot of people here, and I expect more out of you, you piece of shit. Like, come on. Like,
Jesus, Doug.
I'm just angry just because.
I can tell.
That's the shit where I'm like, I hold you guys to a higher standard. Quit being a bunch of fucking douchebags.
Well, we talked about this on the podcast before, where I've had the same thing at the Roosevelt stop.
Yes.
Where they were like out on their phones.
Yep.
Remember, we were talking about like whether or not it was
They're
right.
hanging out in the turnstiles.
Yeah.
Leaning on them.
There was 2 turnstiles that the cops had backed into and were using either
Yes.
side to prop themselves up and talk. And I was like, okay, you're taking away 2 in rush hour. You're taking away 2 entrances / exits for people trying to catch their trains because you need to prop yourself up. I'm like, that's just not cool. Yep. Again, I'm not gonna. It's just not fucking cool, man. Again, you're being a bad fellow person.
And that's what it boils down to. It's like, can we just be human to human?
Right.
Let's agree not to be shitty.
Right.
Right? Like on the internet and in real life, I want to be like, I know you're a cop.
Right.
But take that aside and stop being an asshole.
Right.
All right? Can we agree that you're in the fucking way?
Well, and I think, too, that what this shows, specifically this one, is that, and as Jared put on the chat, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. So everyone, incidentally, is living in a glass house. Like, there's no one out there who... So, again, if you're going to try to take the piss out of someone, if you're going to go on and be like, I've uncovered dirt, just be ready. Because guess what? You have a history as well. And don't sit there and do not look me in the face and go, oh, I'm clean. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
You're not. You burnt.
Like coincidentally, one of my favorite jokes of all time by Dimitri Martin is, I'd argue that if you are in a glass house and you're trapped, you should throw a stone.
That's very true. That's very true.
I'd argue the opposite,
Yeah.
that people in glass houses should throw stones.
Jared, those cops do sound like back to fronters.
Yeah, they
Absolutely.
real do. They really do.
They real do. Yeah, no, it's one of those where I think people need to understand that if they are going to come after other people, like this guy found out real quick, you're not
the audacity of that.
Is it unculpable or you're not?
You're not invulnerable.
You're not innocent.
Yeah, you're guilty.
Yeah.
I think the audacity to do that and then not give yourself the same once over.
Right.
At least do that on yourself.
Jump back into and go.
At least go.
However
cover
you
your
searched,
tracks, man.
However you searched on his, maybe search on yours.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
And I think, to your point, I think we do need to come as a society to a point where we're just like, look, okay, everyone has shit in their past they have done, said, or something.
Everyone has shit in their past. Hard stop.
Hard stop.
We've all done it. Okay?
Everyone has done it. Don't tell me you haven't. You've had painful poops too, okay? Everyone has done it.
Again, another human connection.
Right, exactly.
We've all had diarrhea.
It's all come out in ways we did not expect.
Right.
But no, everyone's got shit in their past. Everyone has said something that they have regretted. It may be on social media. It may be in video form. It may be in podcast form. It may be however it is, you're not fucking innocent. So everyone does just need to kind of relax a little bit and just give each other a breath. And I think the big thing is to understand. Now, there are some things where and this is where it gets gray, because there are some things where you go, that's kind of unforgivable, man. Like, sorry, you really fucked up. And that's what you said, that's really rough. But there are there is the idea of, people need to be allowed, and we've talked about this ad nauseum before too, people need to be allowed to grow. People need to be allowed to go, look, I was 16. I was dumb as shit. I have grown up, and now I am outwardly trying to do a good thing. I'm trying to make the world a better place. I apologize that I said that at 16. I'm not 16 anymore. Like, look where I'm at now. Look what I'm doing now. My life represents something different now, and there's that is something that we need to get to. I don't know how quickly we will get there. I think it's going to be quite some time.
I think what we're missing here is we're missing the impact of. It's a 3-step process, right? It's this is what I did. There's the in between time, and then here's where I am now. It's like kind of like the objective fact is yes, I did this, but what have I done since then?
Sure.
What's the impact of it since then? We should focus on the entire thing, not just this happened.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like cool. 2 questions for you. One, what do you think something that you could say that's unforgivable, no matter what? Because acting is one thing. Like if you've murdered somebody, okay. There is some redemption to some degree, but okay.
Right.
But that's a difficult one.
Yeah.
But as far as saying stuff,
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, if you are relatively consistent for a period of time, and there's just like racial slur after racial slur, and like really like well thought out derogatory negative things that you're spitting out there into the world, I would say that it's a very long road to redemption.
Well, because that's what I'm saying is like, because what we're proposing, I feel like it states that you can say that, but over time, if you've done that, and then you're like, look, man, that was me 5 years ago.
Sure.
And now I've been like, holy shit, like I'm on the road to recovery, and I'm like, I don't believe that anymore.
Let me pose this to you then.
Cool.
With that, let's say, hypothetically, David Duke went, ladies and gentlemen, I fucked up. I've been thinking about things very wrong, and I am very sorry. I'm going to do what I can to make things better.
And again, to me, it's tracking the time. That's a good start.
Okay.
Again, same thing. You said that. What's the transition, and where are you in the present?
Okay.
So like, if he said that and it was like, cool, man, he starts deleting all that sort of stuff. He's taking action that proves to me that he's done that, and he's doing what he can to try to reverse the damage that he's done. And again, I think the bigger question is how much time.
Right. Well, I think it's kind of directly proportional to how long did you do the thing for.
Yeah.
So like, if he's been at this for 30, 40 years.
30, 40 years, and then all of a sudden he's like, yo, he goes, yo, guys,
Yo,
hold
yeah.
on. I done fucked up.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to change. And then he
Hey, look,
spends,
last month I was a different person, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, it's like, no, I'm different now. I think he should expect a fair amount of skepticism and some shit.
I don't know. There's a part of me, there still is a part of me that retains that. I don't know if that's redeemable.
Well, because
like,
the thing, too, is what's the impact that he's had, too, right? Because has he led to people getting harmed? Has he led to that sort of stuff? And again,
like irreversible impact.
Does he spend the rest of his life being like, I champion that for the rest of my life. I will do whatever I can to reverse what I've done or do the most that I can. I think that's admirable, because to me, it's like, what are you trying to do to be better from that? And again,
right.
I don't
know. That's a real I think that's a real gray area.
Because it just depends on.
Actually, I don't even think it's a gray area. I still think I stand in the camp of someone of that clout is unredeemable.
Okay. See, that's interesting, because Joe and I were just talking about that.
I just don't think if you have for that long spewed that intense amount of hate and inspired countless others and led a movement. That's it, man. I'm sorry. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
Even if you are like, look, I made a mistake. I'm like, yeah, you did, and now you just have to live with that. Even if you want people to forgive you, I don't know if that's forgivable. But that is one of those things where I'm like, it's not qualifiable or quantifiable. I don't know how long does someone have to say, and how bad are the things they have to say it, and how long do they do? Like, I don't know. Like, if one person 10 years ago to 16 made a vaguely racist tweet, but now, like, is that the same as like someone who spent 40 years doing?
I think we're talking about
It's
extremes
such a
here.
hard, exactly.
Which is also a thing where it's like, this guy's hated non-white people his whole life,
Right.
for 40 years, and now he's like, oops, my bad.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
There's a big difference.
There's a big difference, but
Yeah.
I'm like, but that I'm using that to illustrate
Sure.
that there's a spectrum. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I asked you to give me an example of
Yeah.
one too, and there's your example.
Right.
Basically, someone who's in the extreme
Exactly.
is something that
Right.
where that could be. Because I think, the people in the extremes I think will be dealt with in a different sort of manner. Whereas I think your typical person, if they've done something or said something, it's just such a weird time to be where you can basically be put on record forever.
for
depending on what
everything
you
that you've
post.
done, yeah.
You just be like, yeah, I said this on this date and time. Put it in the record.
Right.
It's like, it's there. I can pull it up. And it's like,
so-
fuck.
yeah. I definitely think there's a spectrum, but I think that there is a tipping point, and I unfortunately it is up to the mob to determine, and really like the internet mob's not it's more black and white for them.
Yeah.
And I think there is a lot of gray area.
Well, it's tough too because so much, we're building some courses on effective communication.
Oh, look at that.
And one of them is about, hey, when do you email? When do you get up and talk to somebody face to face, right? And, part of the thing is you can't tell tone, right? You
Right.
can't tell what people are intending, or it's really hard to, look at that. Take us, for example, when we did that fuck up on Twitter. When I did that fuck up on Twitter.
Well, I was just as culpable to that because I instead of deleting it and fixing it, I did the tweet that was, "Hey, hashtag credit where credit's due," and I was an asshole for that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when we fucked that
Yeah.
up, for anyone who doesn't know, I posted, I attributed a cool video to Collider instead of a Corridor Digital.
Yeah.
And Corridor was like, Collider! I was like, my bad. I'm so sorry. We meant Corridor, and you said, credit where credit's due. We're sorry. We meant this.
Yeah.
And people start being like, oh, you could at least try to seem like you give a shit. And I was like, how do you know?
Right. They were like, "Credit where credit's due" means this, and what you guys
Use
should
the
have said.
wrong hashtag.
I was
like-
just like, guys, we're trying to make this lighthearted. It's a fucking tweet. Like,
Yeah.
relax. Like, we respect the fuck out of both of these companies. We're
Yeah.
not trying to piss anyone off.
Where we shared the video,
Right.
and that's the thing is like people they were like, oh, you can at least try to sound remorseful. I'm like, what the fuck do you want us to do?
We
Like,
legitimately are. So then, next day
yeah.
we're just like, fuck it. We deleted the tweet.
and I was like, oh my god, like the police are everywhere. I was like, gee, and you just don't know. You do not know what people are intending from their words. Like,
Right.
it's so hard, and you can just, you can put whatever spin, project whatever you want onto it, and that's why it's really hard, and that's why actually it's really easy for that shit to get wild. When people post things and you're like, oh man, because you read the words and the voice in your head reads them to you, and you're trying to put it all together, and you're like, oh my god, that motherfucker said this or that, and you just don't understand. And
Right.
there's times where I've been like, I want to engage with people and be like, I legitimately just want to know what's what, but people will take it out of context. That's how arguments happen, just like that. Someone says one thing, and then you're off to the races.
Yeah.
You're gone. It's over, and people have like, all of a sudden, you've devolved from the original point, and all of a sudden you're talking about how you're going to stab someone in the taint, or whatever, and you're like, what? How did we get here?
Right.
We were talking about the clouds.
This was a relatively civil thing, and then all of a sudden, what happened?
And that's why it's shocking when we actually see a decent debate online, because it's so rare
Yeah.
to find it. And I don't know, man. That stuff is just, it makes me sad more often than not, because
agree.
And that's one of the things I want to try and teach my daughter is like, look, you got to be real careful what you put on the internet, okay? Be real careful, because people will use it against you.
Absolutely, they will.
And it's a goddamn shame that that's the world we live in. Some of it I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't post booty pictures on Instagram. Just saying. Like, I mean, anyone could see that. Creepers or employers or whoever. Like, probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, maybe you get to become an influencer that way. I don't fucking know. And you get bathing suits and whatever that you can show off on Instagram. But I don't know.
Should we try that?
I mean,
I feel like we should try that.
I don't think it's going to work out for me. You, better chance. Me, not so much.
I mean, Doug, you got some.
There's a
you
market
got some
for
lovely
everything.
lumps.
There's a market for everything.
Just saying.
All right. And I've heard.
You've heard the term bear, right?
Yes, I have.
Papa Bear?
I've heard there's a real market for some of this stuff where you can get people to ask for customs, custom videos and stuff where they're like, I want you to have this swimsuit on. I want you to be pinching your nipples and tell me how much of a piece of shit I am. And I want it to be a minute long. And I need you to do this. And they'll pay you like $50 or $100.
Really?
Oh, yeah. 100% on our friendship.
I got to go.
This is a real thing.
I feel like Drew kind of accidentally found the doorway into that world when he posted that video. When Drew was doing his vlog, Dull Moments, way back in the day, he posted a video where he got a new leather jacket. He was very excited about it. And it's, to date, one of his biggest, most viewed videos because the leather community came out. There was a lot of people were like...
Comments, views are like...
That's awesome. You should do that with no shirt on. You should do... Yeah, like they were really into this leather jacket.
I really like that little jacket, man. It looks good.
Yeah, they were like...
really good. They were all over it, man.
A lot of people into their leather jacket.
Well, it's so funny because on Your Mom's House podcast, they have one of their producers. His name's Josh Potter, and he was doing that because I think it was... Because there's Cameo. You familiar with Cameo at all? Essentially, it's a service where if you're a celebrity, you can be in certain tiers, and you can literally pay for Brett Favre, pay $800, and he'll be like, "Hey, Justin's dad, this is Brett Favre, and I just want to wish you a happy birthday."
What?
And
that's insane.
Some people depending on your list of celebrity, you can be $10, or you can be $100, $200. You can pay for someone to send someone a personal message.
Okay.
And part of the problem with that is some people are kind of doing some sex work with that. As far as yeah, you can pay me $100 and I'll send a message to your dad of while I'm dripping hot sauce on my toes or whatever. So there's some other
interesting
channels.
Okay.
There's the other ways. There's actually sort of, I don't know, I'd hate to call them porn sites, but essentially they're sites where you can go and request specific things from different people, create your profile. And one of the producers...
We'll call them special interest sites.
One of the producers did this, and he was basically doing feet videos.
Oh, God, I don't know how I feel about this.
Where he's like, hey, man, your son, Dan, wanted me to call you and wish you a happy Father's Day, but he really wanted me to talk to you about my toes. He's like, ooh, look at this little piggy right here. Ooh, he's going to go to market. Yeah. What would you like me to do with this toe, huh? What would you want me to buy at the market? And he was doing them. And
they've got a special $3 off on bologna.
He was...
Just start talking about real good 2-for-1 on Cheetos. You want me to pick up some Cheetos?
He was charging $20 a video, and he was just getting requests left and right. So eventually he goes, guys, I'm now at $100. He goes, oh my God. He goes, I paid my rent for the month.
For fuck's sake.
He kept referring to himself as a sex worker. He goes, we sex workers work really hard. And and it was just a thing.
That's so odd.
There's just a niche for everything out there.
So fucking odd, man.
It's whoa. So to go back to the point, yeah, I'm sure I could throw on some Speedos and someone out there would be like, yeah. I'd be like, okay. Which is why
you can help put your daughter through college.
There's also a market for dudes who just want want ladies to send them their used panties.
Yeah, I'm sure that makes sense.
And they want specific. They're I want you to wear this for 3 days, and I want you to put it in a bag, and I want you to send them to me, and they'll pay for them. And I asked Jill, Jill, if there was a market and some guys are like, hey, I want you to send me your used panties and you could make I don't know, $1,000 a month, would you do it? She goes, yeah. Would you be okay with it? I go, fuck yeah, I'd be okay with it. I was like, you're just sending him your used underwear? Absolutely. You could be like, this was,
I don't know, man, that's weird.
This was went on a bike.
Nope.
This is biking underwear. This one was lounging around.
We went from 3 viewers to 1 viewer while you were telling this story.
Drilling farts, into them, yeah, cool.
Real good for our numbers, Doug,
dude,
this story.
We're getting into our niche.
Yep.
Okay, we're getting to our niche viewers.
For fuck's sake. I'm so sorry.
Would you do that?
No, not even remotely, no.
Why?
No, it's gross. It's weird.
Okay, but...
Look, I understand. I appreciate the fact that people get off on that stuff. They really like it, and there are other people who are willing to satisfy that. So there's a supply and demand thing.
There's the commerce happening.
It is not for me.
Okay, so you wouldn't supply it?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Not even if 100% or why wouldn't you do it? What about it?
It just feels weird.
It feels weird.
Yep.
No, it's definitely...
To
me, it ain't normal.
It does not feel right.
For the right price, I'd be like, okay, $100, you got it. No. Here you go.
The thing is, the big thing that if someone just wants me to ship when I'm done, they're like, hey, when you're done using these, ship them off. maybe.
Yeah.
But like if they're giving me like, okay, here's how I want these seasoned.
right.
I don't want that.
I want you to go and do a bunch of bench press and then
Right.
some squats. I'm like, well,
I don't
guess,
like that. I don't want that.
I was like, I guess. I mean, it'll get me to the gym, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, it's just some motivation now.
I don't want that.
This was like, oh yeah, I worked all day editing a video.
Yep.
You know, just farting and stuff. And I had a real big steak dinner, and this is what it was the next day.
Not a fan of it. Now, what happens if you get those and then you're not satisfied with them?
I mean, come on. There's a no return policy on that. You know what I mean? You probably got to take a picture of yourself in them. You know, just so you know, you're like, you know.
Yeah, but
there
like,
you go.
yeah, I suppose.
You know.
Sorry, all sales final.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
no. I want my money back. It's like,
Look, I can tell that you only spent 2 days. I specifically requested 3 days of these.
I wanted 49 hours in this straight, and I'm just not smelling it.
These were on a regular stationary bike. I requested a Peloton.
You didn't work out. You did not go to spin class for this. I
What
can
kind
tell.
of horse shit are you peddling here?
I see what you did.
Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like I don't even like. I'm like nobody wants my stuff, so I don't. It's not like even a possibility. But you
I
know
like
what?
it.
If the price was right, and it meant that also no one ever tracked me down and find like my house and be like, "I love you."
Here's the thing, though,
Yeah.
Doug. It's gonna happen.
What?
People will find you. People will
like-
figure this out.
I thought you were like, it's going to happen where someone's going to call and ask you for your underwear. I'm like, no, it's not, Justin. It's not going to happen.
Just wait.
Just wait.
Next time your phone rings, you don't know the number. Please pick it up.
Is that what I'm going to get on my phone that's like, hey, accept this Apple Pay for $1?
Maybe.
Like, fuck you, Heg.
Maybe.
You know,
I'm just saying.
It's one of those things where I'm like, you know, it depends
If he
on
had
the price.
sent you $1,000, would you have accepted it?
I still would have been like, what is this? What's this for? Like, I don't know. I'd be so hesitant. I'm like,
$10,000.
I was like, I don't know what this is. It gets more suspicious. I'm like, who's laundering money? Like, what is this?
I feel like if I randomly got a text message that said, click this to accept $10,000, I'd click it.
Oh my God! All right, world. That's how you get Justin to go to Lemon Party. You know,
.org? Oh, yeah. For sure.
Well, 10,000. What would you click to make sure that you like? What's like? Oh, this is obviously fucked up, and this is also like. What's the amount where you're like, hey, this might actually be okay?
Wait, what's the question?
So the question is, if you got like this Apple Pay notification, which for the record I got a couple weeks ago, right before we started recording an episode, it's like an unknown number's like, click here to get $1 from Apple Pay. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I'll post the video to Instagram.
And Justin was like, you should accept it. I go, no, I don't know who this is. He's like, well, why don't you accept it? I goes, I don't know. I go, what's this for? I go, what am I accepting in return? I go, I don't know what this is. I don't like this transaction. So the question is, you get a text for an amount of money.
Okay.
What amount are you like, okay, I'm probably going to click on this because it could be real. And what amount you're like, this is obviously, they're going to collect my thumbprint and use it against me, and I'm going to get fucked over. This is a phishing scheme. Because there's a certain low amount of money where you're like, this could be someone just making a mistake, and I could walk away with like $50.
Right.
You know? Versus, click here for $1 million. You're like, this is bullshit. You know, this is a pop-up, ad. It's like, you're our 100th visitor. You get $100,000.
But what if it's true?
I mean, Justin, I think you would have done really bad at this state in like the mid to late 90s.
Oh, I'd be dead. I would be full on dead.
No, your computer would be dead.
No,
laden
I
with
would be dead
viruses.
because I would have gone over to meet the prince, and I'd have been like, I would be dead right now. What's the number that I would click on? I don't know, probably $5.
$5. All right, $5. You're like, all right, this could be an honest mistake.
I don't know. All right, do I have to send him anything like underwear?
I mean, I don't know. How's this transaction? You just click on it, you accept it, and that's it. That's how Apple Pay works.
Yeah, well, you got to send it for Apple Pay, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I've done it with Venmo before. I accidentally sent someone $5 incorrectly, and those assholes took it.
Did they really?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And you can't like cancel that. Well, no, because it asks you, "Are you sure you want to send?"
Well, it's
So,
like, yeah, send. I'm like, yeah, and the
Yeah.
fucker's like, cool, $5. I was like, you piece of shit.
Well, yeah.
I was like, fuck it. I was like, well, you're welcome. Merry Christmas.
So if
asshole.
someone had sent you, let's say on Venmo, like, let's say someone had sent you $1, would you be freaked out by it?
Yeah, because I'd be like, why are you giving me $1? Why are you giving me money? I don't fucking know you.
I feel like I want to search random people on Venmo now and give them dollars.
There you go.
I feel like this is my new game.
So you're gonna do that, and then people are like, "Oh, there's this random stranger," but they're gonna figure out who you are, and they're like, "We went through his tweets, and he's a bit of an asshole." It's like, "Oh, it's the
His Twitter is boring. This guy's boring. Fuck this guy.
this guy runs marathons.
He runs. Oh God, this asshole.
and his fucking marathons." Yeah.
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 yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. What's the minimum amount you would accept?
I think I would probably say if it was like, I think the maximum where I'd be like, well, this still might be legit would be $500. Because I think once you get beyond that,
You wouldn't accept $1.
no, I'm saying I would be curious to think that it's legit.
Okay.
Because I think once you get over $500, that's just like, what the?
Why 500?
Because it seems like someone's making that's probably about the max you would just pay someone for something.
Okay.
For like to cover the cost of something, or maybe like concert tickets, or you know what I mean.
Mine'd probably be around 100.
So that's
If I'm being honest.
500 would be the absolute maximum. Like maybe it's like here's my half of the rent, or something like that. You know,
I could see that. I could see
once
that.
you get like 1,000, it's like, what the fuck are you doing here? You buying drugs? Like what's happening? Like I don't know what this is.
Doug, you've obviously never bought drugs before.
I assume.
Obviously, that's not how it works.
I'm assuming you just send money to some number and
And then drugs show up.
drugs show up.
You send $1,000 and a bag of weed shows up.
Ta-da!
Hashtag Doug does drugs.
Let's isolate that audio. There goes my presidential campaign. Oh, in an unprecedented leak, we learned that candidate Doug Cochran once said hashtag Doug does drugs.
Right? On a podcast in 2019.
Reprehensible behavior.
This guy admitted to doing drugs.
It's like, and if you knew me, and if you listen to anything I've ever done, you realize that's categorically false.
Right. Are we gonna do the weed now? Are we gonna weed?
Are we gonna weed? I weeded my lawn. I weeded my lawn.
I'm so high from doing all the weed.
From doing all the weed eating.
Hashtag Doug does drugs.
Sounds like Todd Hammer does drugs.
Jeannie, are we gonna weed?
Jeannie, here's $1,000. Get me a bag of weed. That's too much.
I want to cocaine. Is it 5 or 5,000? I have cash.
I want a cocaine cigarette. Make it happen.
Cocaine cigarette.
I don't think you're confused, man.
I'd like to smoke a cigarette of cocaine.
One, please.
One cigarette of cocaine. Buy me a Lucy. I think they call it Lucy's.
Oh my God, I love it. Throw the cocaine in my eyes. That's what I want.
Do I put it on pancakes? It looks like powdered sugar.
It does.
Yeah.
It works the same. I'm ingesting it. I know how science works.
I know science and drugs. You.
Speaking of buying shit.
Yes. I thought I teed you up with the panty return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a pretty good one.
This
too.
is perfect.
Speaking of buying drugs, I asked Justin earlier today. I said, "Hey, you know what'd be a fun topic is if we talked about times in which we'd seen an advertisement for something, and we bought it hook, line, and sinker to realize that it was complete bullshit, whatever the product was." And because I usually think that I'm pretty good with that.
Yeah.
It's like trying to find
It's like
fakes.
sorting through news stories.
Yeah, you think you're like, I'm impervious to this
Right.
horse shit. But there were two times in particular that I thought of off the top of my head. The first one was I was in high school, and I can't remember if it was like Scope or Listerine or one of those mouthwashes, and they had this ad campaign where it's like, guys, it's happened. We've revolutionized mouthwash. You no longer need to floss. So I was like, I'm going to the store right now. I fucking hate flossing. And I immediately went there, and it's like, forget floss. It's like it was on the label and everything like that. I was like, sweet, I don't have to fucking floss anymore. And within 6 months, there was this ridiculous, like they retracted, like, let's just say it was Scope. They're like, Scope has to basically retract what they've been saying because it's inaccurate.
Because you absolutely need to floss still.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they now had ads that it's like, this is a really great thing to do in addition to flossing.
It's almost like you don't need to floss, but you still need to floss.
Please still floss.
Yeah.
And I was like, you fucking pricks.
I love that you just tried to you're like, oh, anything to get me out of doing this
Well,
thing.
it's just like, it's like,
Yeah.
you don't have to mow your lawn anymore. I'm like, I'm listening.
What is this type of grass?
It's called salt. Put it in your ground. Nothing will grow ever again.
It's called AstroTurf.
Here we go.
All the Californians are doing it.
I'm like, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, cool. We've advanced as a society. We don't have to floss anymore.
When I was in late high school, early college, I was very susceptible to the infomercials. Some of them real good stuff.
Yeah.
Though it seemed.
Yeah.
There was two in particular that we ended up getting. One of them was my knife set for a while. Nowhere near as good as the commercial made them.
Was this the one where they're cutting up cans? And
Oh,
shit like that?
Doug, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
You got the rock and chop. You got the bread slicer. You've got your, all your, your bone,
fillet.
your filleter. Yeah. Because every fucking college freshman needs a good fucking fillet knife.
Yeah.
And look at the flexibility on that. I can fillet the fish paper thin. I'm like, I need that. I need that.
Knives.
It was, God, now I'm trying to remember what the fuck. Let me see if I look up Rock and Chop.
Rock and Chop.
Isn't that's a great name?
Yeah.
Rock and Chop knife set. It was the Miracle Blade 3 Perfection Series.
I feel like I saw those commercials too.
Oh man, the Miracle! And I think it was Chef Tony who would always hawk this shit.
Yeah.
It's like a short, fat little guy. Mm-hmm. And I got those, and man, did I think they were cool. Didn't cook, but I anytime I needed to cook something,
yeah, right.
Like slice a piece of bread. I don't know. Like I was like, oh, let me pull out my Miracle Blade 3 Perfection Series all-purpose slicer. And the other one was the fucking Magic Bullet, that little like tabletop food processor.
I was like, isn't that like a vibrator?
Yes.
Silver Bullet, I think is what I'm thinking of.
No.
Yeah.
It doubles. It's a food processor and
a vibrator.
Yeah, and a bean flicker. So yeah, it was it took up less counter space, and it was just as powerful, and it had as much power as an outboard motor or whatever the fuck it was. And they had all these. It came
As much
with
power as your typical car battery.
as much power as your electric razor.
Wait, what?
It sounds good.
Okay.
It cuts my hair. So you would do it came with a recipe book, and on the infomercial, they were making chili con queso, and they were making Alfredo sauces, and they were making all sorts of
So
wonderful
how did it work?
things. So you would put the let me see if I can.
It was like
Magic
a food
Bullet.
processor?
It was, yeah. So images. Here we go. So it does look like a countertop dildo.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, it really does.
But yeah, so you would detach the top part. You would put whatever you wanted in it. You would attach the lid, which has the blade. And there was 3 different types of blades for different types of chopping. You would flip it upside down. You would press it down, and it would do its thing. And you could make smoothies. You could make
It was a blender,
more
basically.
smoothies. It was fruit smoothies and green smoothies. A lot of
Salsa.
smoothies, salsa. It was a food processor is
Yeah.
what they were calling it. It was essentially a blender, but they had all these things, and they had, and then you could also buy a mug attachment. So you could so you take it off, you take the blade off, you put the mug handle on, and you can take your smoothie to go.
How about that?
And all these other things. And so they had, and I love that they do actually have a vibrator in
is
the
it,
image.
is it called the Magic Bullet?
Let me find female masturbation Magic Bullet.
Yes! I knew it!
Ta-da.
I knew it.
You should not have known that.
I do.
But yeah, you can make guacamole. You can make pudding. That was another thing. You can make pudding. It was just, I saw it, and I was just like, my God, all this. And what it was is I was a fat fuck, like food. And I was like, that food looks amazing. If I buy that, I'll have that food. And so,
Which is smoothies.
is-
and that's how you weren't a fat fuck anymore.
oh, Doug, I ate the fuck out of some smoothies. I will show you how convincing after we get done with it.
I made
I will show you how
milkshakes.
convincing this
I
was.
made pudding.
But yeah, neither of them performed like we thought they would. It was just just terrible,
Yeah.
and you could not fit nearly as much as they claimed in that thing.
Of course.
Yeah. So that was my
Prom night. I mean,
exactly.
you know what
Am
I'm
I
talking about? Yeah. The other one for me was when I was a kid, and I can't remember which cereal I got, but I got the cereal, and advertised on the cereal box was Nickelodeon Gak. Do you remember Gak?
absolutely. I remember.
Don't
Gak.
know. It's
Jesus
like this
Christ!
little slimy material. It was like the coolest thing in the
you can make
world.
fart noises with it.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh my God, it comes with the cereal. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
I was so pumped. We got groceries on a Sunday, all right? We put it away, and I was like, I can't have this until tomorrow morning. And I barely slept. Barely.
Jesus Christ,
But
man.
I woke up, I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to have Gak in the morning. I'm going to take it to school. I'm going to fucking show
I
it off.
love this.
This is going to be the best thing ever. I wake up, I'm exhausted because I just barely slept. I'm like, here we go, baby, cereal time. Open the thing. I'm like, where's the fucking toy? No toy. it was a coupon.
You had to.
Coupon for like a certain amount off or something you had to send in. And I was devastated.
I'm sure.
I was like, I barely slept for this. To have cereal to find out. Because the big thing, and I don't know if they still do it, you used to get toys in cereal.
Absolutely.
I was like, there's going to be GAC in there.
It was the fucking best.
Which was an insane premise because GAC costs like, I don't know what it costs. I want to say $5-6.
Sure,
right?
yeah, $5 is
Let's
safe.
just
Yeah.
throw that in a fucking cereal.
Right.
That's $5. You're losing money. But
That's amazing.
It didn't make sense. And I was devastated.
Yeah.
I was so upset, and I was like, I just remember looking at the cereal and this being like, you lied to me.
Never again.
You lied to me.
Never
You misled
again.
to me.
Yeah.
You misled me, making me think that there was something in here.
Sure,
and there's
yeah.
not. And I was like, I didn't read the fine print.
And then you were upset, but you could only be so upset because you're just like, fuck, that is on me.
It was.
Yeah.
I think that may have been one of the earlier birthing parts of Practical Doug. Of like, that didn't make sense.
Yeah, part of Doug cracked away at that point and like was partitioned off, and it was like, later, I'm going to build on this.
It's just like, God damn it. So, yeah, it's got me to the point where I don't trust most things.
Jared said we never got toys and cereal. I just, every time I think of Australian
Hold on.
cereal, it makes me sad.
You have Kinder Eggs, but you don't have fucking toys and cereal.
Their cereal game.
Explain that shit to me, Australia.
Their cereal game is weak, man. They
Yeah,
just
that's
don't.
right.
They do not. I feel so bad for the children of Australia.
You get like,
It's survival of the fittest with no cereal.
you get just your plain, bland, whatever you call it, mush, and then also like poisonous sand. Like that's what you get to choose between for
Right.
cereal over there.
What do you want to eat?
You want grits? It means something different over there.
That's right.
This is your last meal,
That's what scorpions shit out.
right?
Yeah,
You want
that's scorpion poop.
You want some grits?
We call it grits down here.
down here.
Down here. Cereal is health food. That's what he said. That's Australia's
You
cereal
know
is
what
health
though?
food.
That's probably what it should be.
Yeah, it probably
should be that. It shouldn't be super sugar bombs.
Jared also says he wants to see Justin's fat fuck photos. Feel free to go back in my Instagram or my Twitter, and you'll see some fat fuck photos. Anything prior to 2017. Anything prior to 2017.
I heard that differently. Justin's fat fuck videos, like he's fucking and he's fat. That's how I heard it.
Yeah, go back in my Twitter and my Instagram, and you will see my fat
And a
fucking
journalist
videos.
will come and he will burn you to the ground when he finds those.
And the journalist will come.
Exactly.
Just flat out.
Come
He
first.
will finish.
He will finish.
He will finish.
Then he'll be like, and now I've got to report this to the world.
And now I have to tell
Which
the
is
world.
funny because Justin already told the world. No one was listening. But now maybe they will be.
Ta-da. Yeah. I would also say the Hyundai Elantra.
The Hyundai.
The car.
That was what about that for you? It wasn't necessarily the car. It was just the circumstances around it, right?
It was the dealership we bought it from, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that car was limited. Nothing against the Hyundai Elantra. I'm sure it's a wonderful car. I've driven newer models. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But that car can go fucking burn in hell.
Yeah. What happened? Why?
It was a terrible car.
Why? What about it?
Like, we don't have time to get into this.
All
It
right.
was the driver's side blower, the AC. The blower just did not blow. So in the summer, you only got partially cool. It was
sucks.
very hot to drive. It honestly felt like in any condition that was not bone dry, it felt like you were going to spit out. It was just the worst fucking. And the tires were fine. It was just something about that car. It was not insulate. Like, it was, you could hear everything when you were. It was very loud. They claimed it was not in an accident, but we found glass in the trunk and the side panel had been dented. So the entire there was rust. It was just one of those things where like
was a used car,
we
obviously.
could go down the list on this. It was a bad
You
car.
had to put gas in it.
This fucking thing. Let me tell you about this fucking copper. All right, we had to stop at a fucking petrol station. I don't know why.
All of a sudden, this guy. Is,
I went English and.
you went Boston.
It's a Boston guy living in England.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or it's like someone
We
just
fucking got some
or
fish and fucking chips at the
he's-
petrol station. I threw the fuck up.
He's in Boston. Everyone goes, hold on a fucking second. This guy's a fucking spy.
I don't know what you're talking about. A fucking spy.
I took the fucking lift.
All I'm saying is I got in the fucking building. I took the lift up to the fucking third floor.
Yeah.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Yeah, right.
Jared also said, I've been eating my bag of cereal marshmallows I got in the USA. My bag of cereal marshmallows. It's so good.
That's about
I'm
right.
so happy that you got to have that, Jared.
Yeah.
That makes me very happy.
Oh, there was something else I was thinking of that where I was like, oh, when I was a kid, didn't understand how Nintendo worked. And neither did my mom. Mom bought the video game. It was Super Mario Brothers, the cartridge, not the system.
Oh, no.
She was like, oh, this looks good. And I just remember having it and looking at the back. I'm like, this looks amazing. And I just remember going up to my mom and holding it and go, Mom, can we play this? And she goes, honey, we can't. I was like, why? She's like, we need another part for this. And I was like, but even back then, I was like, then why do we have it? I didn't understand.
Another piece fractured off and joined that first partition.
I was like, then why am I looking at this?
Practical Doug gets stronger.
It's like, I'm probably going to have one of those moments as a parent where I'm like, enjoy! And be like, oh, we're missing the main component to have it run. I just remember being so disappointed, like,
well, thanks, Mom.
I was like, this looks so cool. He's shooting fireballs.
I appreciate the effort.
I was like, okay.
All right, cool.
That's strange.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
There was I got tickets to an event one time.
Yeah.
And the event ended up not being what I thought it was.
Oh.
Yeah, we got there, and I was under the assumption, based off of the name, that it was going to be some sort of a sporting event with a ball.
Sorry, I was like, what? For some reason, that threw me off. I don't know why.
Yeah.
With a ball.
With a ball, specifically. Uh-huh. And it was a sporting event with a ball where the people were playing. They were on the field, and they would throw it up back to you, and then you would throw it down to them, right? On the pitch is what they called it. And I was like, this sounds like a great sporting event. I got there, and it was not that. It was just death. Like people just killing each other. It was the weirdest thing. The event was called The Throwdown. I struggled so much on that one.
I was trying to throw you off, but I couldn't think of the word for what's the thing that's not fully stripping, but people like take their clothes off and they have like pasties.
Oh, burlesque.
I was like, do you know what that was called? I was like, burlesque. That's what I was going to yell, but I couldn't fucking think of the name of it. I was like, God damn it.
I saw you were.
I was thinking hard.
I could see like there was like I got it. Shit, I got to say it.
I was like, what is it?
We're getting to the end. We're getting to the end.
He's leading me. I was like, what else was I going to say? I'm like, I don't know. Burlesque.
It was a burlesque.
Yeah, because you were like, I have to call this out right. I'm not even going to give Doug an opportunity. I'm just going to end it.
Yep, that was super painful. So today's throwdown is actually inspired by something that happened towards the beginning of the podcast.
Nice.
And I think, I don't know why we've never done this before, because it seems like a very logical throwdown. We're pitting Mr. Drew Dull up against Dr. Drew.
Oh, Dr. Drew, hands down.
Fuck you.
No.
Why?
Dr. Drew Pinksy?
Yes.
Oh my God, that guy's not only ripped, he's hung.
Wait,
and he's super fucking smart.
I'm sorry, hold on.
You heard me.
I wanted to go.
Heard me.
I wanted to hit the first thing you said. I'd like to go to the second thing.
I'd like to hit the second.
I'd like
too.
to hit the second one real hard.
Yeah, that dude's packing.
Dr. Drew Pinksy is okay. First off, how do you know this?
Okay, first of all, he does his own podcast in conjunction with Your Mom's House, and multiple people have stated that dude is packing.
How do you know that?
I believe it. I believe that guy is packing.
Have you seen? Okay, I'm actually shocked at
that dude is fucking ripped,
and he looks like he's gonna come kill you.
Yeah.
Shit, Drew. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Not only that, he knows the anatomy of the body.
No, he's not that kind of doctor.
He knows. Oh, yes, he is.
No,
that guy knows.
He's
exactly.
a celebrity.
He's okay.
I'm sorry. Hold on, real quick. Him.
Yeah, that guy.
In his fucking teal shorts.
And that's the thing.
Flip-flops he bought from Old Navy and that shirt.
And that's the thing. He wants you to think he's not a threat, but that guy would fucking end you.
Have you seen...
Look at that. He would be doing that face.
God
Look
damn
at
it.
that, dude.
God damn it.
That guy's fucking jacked.
This face?
Yeah. He'd be like, oh, as he's snapping your neck, as he's cutting off like different parts to your blood flow, to your body. He would end you. He would end Drew.
Well, so, okay, hold on. I will... let's just talk this through real quick. I understand that you have who said that he's hung?
Dude, who hasn't? Type in Dr. Drew Pinksy hung and see what happens.
No, first off.
Why not? For the podcast.
How much are you going to pay me?
I will send you Apple Pay
to click on it
for $5. I will Venmo you $5.
I think he is ripped Dr. Drew. God damn it. There's a whole fucking...
See?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Hold on. He's got a little bit of a belly and tits there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay.
In that picture.
Have you seen Drew Dull recently?
Yes.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Anything else you want to add?
Nope. That was it. That's the extent of my argument. I'm just saying Drew Dull could probably, because he's a runner, and he's been running a lot recently.
Good for him.
And he's going to be doing a half marathon pretty soon. I bet you he could tire this guy out. He'd just keep running around in circles around Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew would finally get tired.
Dr. Drew would know the point in which his heart rate got too high. He would be able to, he's like the Terminator with health.
He's doing these calculations in his head.
He's just being like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen right now.
Yeah.
And he would just wait for the right moment, strike.
Have you seen Drew Dull's butt?
No.
Yeah. I haven't either. But
Not recently.
Not recently.
No.
Not since,
Not since
that
February
we
11th, 2013.
We won't talk about it, but yes, that one time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That was a time.
Yeah.
That's a different podcast. But I don't know, man. Drew Dull, he's scrappy. He's scrappy. He's got nails too. Have you ever tried to tickle him? He fucking scratches.
I'm sure he does.
You've tried, remember?
Oh yeah.
You
have too.
He did not go.
He did not go easily that good night.
Exactly.
No, he did not. Drew.
He's a
tenses
scrapper.
up. Of course he does.
Yeah.
And
he does that little. He goes. He does that noise.
I feel like that would just encourage him to do more.
You feel like
he'd be like,
that
oh,
would
cool,
make-
this animal is in pain and
that
in
would make
fear.
Dr. Drew actually more feral.
Exactly. He'd be like, he'd sense weakness, and he'd go in for the kill even quicker.
I will give you the fact that Dr. Drew
Is hung. Say it.
Say it. I want.
Type it.
Yeah.
You're too curious. I know it. You're too curious. You have to know.
Dr. Drew Young. Hold on. Let me do this. Is
Dr. Drew hung? This is a breaking news.
Is Dr. Drew hung? Nothing about it.
I'm sure there's a medical paper about it somewhere.
I love the fact that this is now in my search history.
Me too.
I absolutely adore that. Let me do this.
Dr. Drew's penis.
Dr. Drew Pinksy penis
size.
Let's just find out.
Okay, I don't know. Image.
Dr. Drew has a small penis. Boom. First fucking thing.
Who says it?
For Reddit. Reddit. Also, Adam Carolla admits he has a micro penis. Throughout the Carolla era, Dr. Drew would say that if a girl says a man's penis is perfect, it's actually small. On Susan's first appearance during the Carolla era Valentine's Day episode, I believe, Adam pushes her to reveal the size of his member. She refers to it as perfect more than once. There it is, folks. Dr. Drew has a small penis.
Smoked it!
Go fuck yourself! Go fuck yourself!
Shut it down!
Shut it down right now, Drew Dull for the win. Because we all know someone's ability to fight is based solely on their penis size.
Directly proportional to their penis size.
That's right.
Sorry, Drew. Dr. Drew would win.
But why?
Because he's fucking ripped. And he knows the anatomy. He knows the weak spots.
You don't think Drew Dull sits and spends hours poring over anatomy books?
Nope. He does, but for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. That's fair. I'll give that to you.
Pictures of boobs without the skin
I
on
will
them.
give that to you. That's the same reason that he reads the encyclopedia.
Exactly.
Right.
He likes to see what buttholes look like really without skin.
I will say that's... You read the dictionary for that, Doug.
What? Why the dictionary?
I will say
define it
that...
for you.
I will say that...
It doesn't make sense, and I love it. I'm going to spit all over my jacket.
I'm having a hard time refuting your illogical arguments for Dr. Drew
They're not
Pinksy.
illogical. They're very logical.
My heart wants to say Drew Dull, but everything you're saying
What
right
does
now.
your wiener say?
Here we go. Gorillas have tiny penises, but they impress females based on their fighting ability. Dr. Drew is a gorilla. You know what? Doug, your arguments were invalid. Jared just made the best argument. Dr. Drew Pinksy for the win!
Dr. Drew, hit us up, man.
Yeah. Break the story.
Break the story, man. Let us
Oh,
know.
my God.
Could you defeat Drew Dole in a fight. Thank you. That's all we want to
I
know.
don't know what is going on right now.
That was wild, man. That was a wild one.
Woo! All right.
That was excellent. Justin, what do you got to recommend or promote this week?
I'm gonna go back to some fun standards. Wu-Tang Clan and American Saga on Hulu. Watch some more of it. It's really good. I really like it. Schitt's Creek as always, and then Fleabag. I've talked about that. Won some Emmys. Phoebe Waller-Bridge won. She's the creator, writer, star of it. She won some Emmys there, and she's going to be on SNL this coming week. She, in 2016, created a show called Crashing for the BBC. It's really good. It's very, very quick. It's one season, and this is what I love about what she's creating, is that she tells this little microcosm of a story. Done. Does not have to drag this out for 10 seasons and get to the point where we're like, all right, maybe this person, I don't know, they fucking, they had a long lost sister. I don't know. You know, like they
ran out of water.
Right. She's not scraping she does this really fun one season thing and then boom, you're done. And Fleabag should have been that way. She did one season and then 3 years later, she was like, well, hold on. She was like, I wanted to take a crack at religion. So I was like, well, this would be a good show to do it. So she did it. She wrote another season with that as kind of the through line. And I was like, that's fantastic. But she was ready to let it sit at one. So I like the way that she tells stories.
I like it too.
Plus, she's also penning the new Bond film. And she played the droid in, I know you didn't like it, but Solo.
I haven't seen it, so.
Oh, well, but I mean, you tend to make, distinctions on movies that you haven't seen, so.
I do.
Yeah.
Maybe not for me. Maybe not.
Yeah, but anyway, really cool. I think you should check it out. It moves really quick, but it's a fun show.
Cool. I'd again recommend the album "Breathe" by Tiny Moving Parts. I'm in love with this album so much.
What's the thing you like most about it? Like what sparks for you? What trigger? What speaks to you?
Part of it is the lyrics are great, but the other thing is like, God damn it, it's a 3-person band. And the guitarist does some insane stuff and sings at the same time. And I just can't. It's just amazing. One of the songs just like it hit me really, really hard. It's so much so that I want to make a music video to it with footage of Natalie for her birthday. So it's like a side project I'm doing. I was just like,
that's fucking cool,
it made
man.
me think of her, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I have an idea. So I've been trying to make my own like little music video for her. But it's really fun. It's good stuff. And I've been a fan of them, and the album. There's no better feeling to me than finding a really good album from an artist. I still like to buy albums for the most part. If I get an album, a couple of songs are okay. I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of the album. This album is great.
Yeah.
Like their last album was fantastic. Like I love the whole thing. I can put it on.
Consistency.
It's consistent. It's great. It's wonderful. It's got a wonderful sound. I love it. I can't speak enough of it. It's "Breathe" by Tiny Moving Parts. Check it out. The other thing I'd like to recommend, a graphic novel I'm reading right now called Templars. Super fun. I don't know how this is in a show. It reminds me a lot of Robin Hood.
Cool.
It's about these Knights Templar who fought in the Crusades, and they come back to Paris. And there's a conspiracy against them and their order. They're locked up and they're considered traitors, and that they're heretics because they're spitting on the cross and whatever like that. And there's a couple of Templars that escape, and they're trying to get to the bottom of what's happening. It's fun. It's exciting. It's got some good humor, a lot of action. It's really, really cool.
Fucking A, man.
And I'm really enjoying it right now. I told myself, hey, chill out. Save some for the train.
Sure.
Because I've been tearing
trying to
through stuff at
blitzkrieg it,
home,
yeah.
and I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like,
It's so good.
it's like, take it easy. You still
Right.
have a train ride. So Templars, graphic novel, very, very good.
Awesome. Love it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Gang, thanks so much for listening. You can follow us on all social medias. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at MindGap Podcast. We are also on Twitch. Follow us there. Subscribe to us there. Come hang out with us when we record our episodes. We generally record every Tuesday, but again, check our social medias. We'll let you know what's going on, the times, and everything like that. And you can chat with us live as we record. We also have a YouTube channel where we post our videos, and also we will take our Twitch feed, we will put the podcast audio to that, and we post that on YouTube so you can check out the episodes there as well. Also, Justin exists digitally.
On Twitter and Instagram, you can dive all the way back and see the beginning of my feeds if you search at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. And while you're in the online realm, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher,
Spotify,
and Google Podcasts, really wherever podcasts are sold. Wherever you choose to listen to them, you can find us, and we would ask that you subscribe and like, share us around, review us, do all those things. Really, the big thing that we're asking is to share us around, because that goes such a long way. Think of it this way. When someone tells you, I personally recommend this thing to you, here's a link to it, odds are you're going to listen to that, and that goes a long way. So personal recommendation from you guys is huge for us.
Yes.
And then 2east8th.com/mindgap, and then just keep a lookout on all the 2 East 8th stuff. We got a rough cut of Sid Penrose and going through, doing some notes, and quite pleased with where it's coming along.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's great. Justin, thank you.
Douglas, thank you.
Twitch, thank you. Listeners, thank you, and we will see you next week.
Mind Gap Podcast.